how to build EC2 machine. So EC2 is basically elastic compute. So let's go to EC2. So what we will do here in services, we'll search a EC2. Here is already EC2 is there, but let's go with the process. And if you see this dashboard, so we are in North Virginia, and this is the EC2 experience. This is the new dashboard. If you want to disable this, you can select this one. It will get disabled. And but if you want to go with the new experience, let's enable this one. So if you see this dashboard here, you will see launch instance. So before we launch the instance, let's understand what is the EC2. It's a web service, basically Amazon web service, which help us to create a machine. So why we need a machine? So let's take example in your day-to-day activity. You have the laptop, you are working, maybe you are typing some document or maybe presentation, all these things kind of activity you are doing. So if you go to industry, maybe you are running some of the job in production. Job may be an independent job, or if you are talking about the website development, it may be a web server. So it depends on your need, you need a machine. So if you see high level component of the machine, you need a RAM, you need a hard disk, you need a processor, you need a motherboard. So if you go to set up a new machine in traditional way, so it takes time. So basically it will take to set up a web server, just order that machine and then install a software can take 5 to 6 months. So in cloud we can spin that kind of capability within a minute. So that is the advantage of the cloud. And we can have different kind of operating system. Whatever kind of operating system we are looking, that kind of operating system we can get from here. Based on our our need, we can go small to large size of machines. So let's start launch instance here. Once you launch an instance, so the beauty here in the cloud is that everything is written. So let's say launch instance. If you want to read about this, you can go through info and read about this details. So same way, name and tag. So let's say you are creating a web server or maybe a job cluster or job machine. So you can put your name here. So in this case, let's we add a job machine. So our job machine will be there. Job machine is already there, so we can say job machine _1. So we are creating instance, that's fine, and we can add a tag, another tag if needed. So right now we don't need a tag, so leave it. So if you go here, name you have given. Now you have to select the operating system. So if you are running some kind of Python script, or maybe you need a Linux machine, you can select from the Linux machine here. If you are looking kind of IS server where you want to host a website for the Microsoft tool and technology, then you can select a Window machine. In this example, we'll select a Window machine. And if you select the browse AMI, you can see set of the machines, kind of operating system you have. One more thing before we proceed into Window machine, so let's talk about the instance type. So what we told in beginning, if you have 1 and 2 job and we don't have much data processing, maybe you just need a basic computer capability. Tomorrow you have terabyte of data or petabyte of data. In that scenario, what you are doing heavy processing on the memory, data processing. Then you need memory intensive machines, maybe GPU. So it depends on what kind of forecasting you are doing. If you are looking for the weather data, maybe you need different kind of machine. If you are doing a scientific work, you need a different kind of machine. So as per your need, you have to select that machine. And also one thing keep in mind. So because once you go in cloud, cost is very important. Okay, so generally what we do in industry, let's say we have jobs, 100 of jobs are there, and we are looking around 200 machine to do reserve. So those kind of reservation is the one of the best option. If you are not going to reserve the machine, you can still go for on demand kind of machine, or another option you have spot machines are also available in the cloud. Let's say Amazon is not using them, that machine you can use for your purpose. So it's a big umbrella, and again your it's your engineering team and your infrastructure team sit together and decide what kind of configuration best fits in your need. Okay, so these details you can read in and go through and understand what is the general purpose, what is compute optimized, what is memory optimized machines. Now coming on the EC2 creation, so we selected a window machine here. We have given a name. Two things we have done till now. We have given a name for the machine, and we have selected a operating system. If you see here architecture, so it's a CPU architecture. If you have a 64-bit machine, think these are the 64 pipes. So you can flow your data more. If you have 32, it will flow less data. It will take time to process the data. So this is the architecture we are selecting. Now instance type, that's where we talked about currently. What kind of instance we are looking for, you can select. For us, this is just an example. We are taking a very bare minimum 1 GB memory kind of configuration we are taking, or you can say here we are looking. Let's take this one. Keep here login, so you have to create a password. In this example we are doing a RDP, so for RDP we need a password. So what we will do, create a new key pair. We put a name, test pair. This is the file. We will create a, retrieve the password for login. These are our network setting. So right now, because this is the basic computer we are creating, we can select a default VPC. But once you go into the industry, your infrastructure team, and they will create a VPC, dedicated VPC for your work. So you have to select that VPC. Under the VPC, you have the subnets. You have to select those respective subnet. So again, if you are creating a web server, most probably you can put that into public subnet. If it is more like a database, then you have to put that in private subnet. So those configuration you can talk to your infrastructure team. They can create, or another presentation will create a VPC and subnet, and then we'll put a one web server and database server. Will understand that. But right now we are taking a default. So firewall rule, we are creating a new group. So a new group means basically what happens, right? What kind of traffic you are allowing to the machine, incoming traffic and outgoing traffic. Because sometime what happens, if you allow everything, they can hack your data. So you have to be very careful here. Networking team comes in picture and security team comes in picture. So in organization they will create a security group and they will apply a firewall rule. So right now in this case we are just testing. So we have taken one, creating a new security group. That name is launch wizard 1. This is the new security group is going to be created. Now what we are taking, allow RDP traffic from anywhere. So we can connect from any machine. So that's where we have, because this is just a sample testing, it is not applicable for the actual industry. We are just selecting here in our experience. So we will select this anywhere. This is the storage we are taking default 30. That's fine. Root volume. Coming on the advanced detail, we are not selecting because we are not looking for spot instance. This is just a testing. We are not selecting that kind of, or we are not looking any kind of IAM rule. So these will be the default. So you can go through, you can read in info. If you can select, right, what instance auto recovery means, it is clearly writing what exactly mean of this. So these are the very basic informations. It's more because it's compare this with your laptop or maybe a desktop. Whatever features you are looking, this kind of feature you will see here. Okay, so this is something we have created. So let's create, launch this instance. So most of the default setting we have taken. Now we are launching an instance. Successfully initiated launch. Let's go to instance. Still it is pending. So let's refresh this one. Still it is pending. Now it is in running state. This is the name we have selected. This is the availability zone. So let's go to this instance ID. This is summary of the instance. If you go through this summary, instance ID, host name, all these machines are there. You can carefully read these things. These are very interesting. Same if you go in detail, platform is the window, AMI name, AMI ID, AMI location. This is your test pair to get a password. Security rules, we have created a security group, and this is the port range we are allowing right now any traffic. And this is our networking. You can see here VPC and VNet and subnet, basically subnet in this case, VPC and subnet. Storage you can get from this here detail. Monitoring is something, once you spin VM, you are running your job. Sometime what happens, job is getting failed, or you want to troubleshoot that to see whether you have enough memory or enough CPU power available or not. So basically you want to check the health of the machine. So this is the very important to, you can going here to do a troubleshooting. So this is very important. Tag, we put a job machine. This is our tag. So let's launch this machine. Okay, we'll see. So let's go to the machine. Go to connect. So we have the RDP client. We can get a password. So test pair, we have created a test pair. Search that test pair here. This is your decrypt password. So this is your password, this is your user ID. So let's try to connect this one. So this is the password. Continue. Now it depends on your need. If you want to install a SQL on this, if you want to install a Python, you want to install a Java, it depends on your need. You can install that and you can use this server and make this as a server. Whether you want to make it a job server, web server, it's purely on your need. And this is your separate machine. So right now, because for this tutorial we have just taken this example, so what we will do, we'll go here. So here if you see, right, you can also shut down from here. You can shut down machine from here. You can shut down, or you can, if you want, you can disconnect this machine. So let's, in this case, let's shut down. Yeah, so we have completed this configuration. So I hope this will help you to understand how to spin a VM in AWS, and this is the window we have taken. Next time we'll talk about how to spin the Linux machine, how to access it inside the Linux machine, and maybe we'll install some of the software and we'll run a small job there.